about self-awareness and self-careness. So, as I think most people who find me come to realize, I transmit these from a studio in Atlanta, Georgia. For those of you unaware, all around Georgia and in parts of Georgia, there have been some really extreme storms lately. It never matters with biofield tuning when you watch these videos. The frequencies and the transmissions are always appropriate and always effective no matter when you find these recordings. However, as I'm doing them live, I am in certain circumstances. And so my current circumstances that I have been working with, so I help clients. I am a biofield tuner, among other things, and frequency and vibrational specialist. I also am a human with my own personal journey, and so a big part of what I work with other people, it also reflects itself in its own ways in my own life. And then I am, as it turns out, positioned in this part of the world that has been having some severe weather, and many people that I know personally have been deeply impacted. And so the themes that are up in my collective atmosphere at this time are shadow work in the sort of Jungian psychological sense of it, which, if those words aren't familiar to you, in effect, it is deep dives into self-awareness practice, noticing behavior, noticing thoughts, asking questions of your internal experience about what drives you, what's coming up, what do you want to see. It often prompts behavior change, that kind of thing. So shadow work, integration. How do I, when I come to understand a facet of myself or the world around me a little more deeply, how do I put that together into some sort of applied sauce that I can live into and live with and work with in an applied way? So self-awareness, shadow work, self-care, integration, and then just generally speaking, being a human on the planet at this time is requires a lot of tenderness that not everybody knows how to give themselves. And often we're not offered a lot of tenderness externally on the way in. And so building understanding of what tenderness and care given to self can really look like, all the forms that can take. These are the themes that have really been up in my world right now. So, yeah. So we're going to ground into the current moment. So again, whether you're watching this with me live or whether you find this later today or next week or next month or next year, I have videos from, I think, almost 5 years ago now. Those frequencies, those transmissions are still effective, right? So if you find me this video in a decade from now, perfect. We're right on time. Let's ground into the now. Great. If you can hum or breathe and feel your lungs or your chest or your torso. If you can kind of wiggle, whether you're seated or laying or standing, if you can kind of wiggle and almost feel into your hips, the place where your legs connect to your torso. Great, great. God, really good job. Good. And this is a little bit of a stretch because they're really far away, but see if you can feel into your feet. If you can touch your feet with your hands or touch your feet onto something to help bring sensation, to bring focus. Great, great. Gosh, even that. Okay, so right here, everybody gets a gold star on their star chart. Everybody gets a check mark for class. Because right now, just in that grounding, that is self-aware, self-care. Check. Like, it's already a win. Take the win. Shoot. That's right. It really is that easy. Oh my God, that made people laugh. Okay, awesome. That was cute. Okay, right? That you are present. You are here. You're in yourself in the now. That is self-aware, self-care. So I'm going to describe a tool that I was yesterday years old when I learned on a podcast, and it's called a mood meter. And I'm gonna stop tuning for just a second so I can describe this mood meter. It plots one's current state into one of four options. On the x-axis is energy. It is literally how well resourced. Are you rested and do you feel resourced to be in the now? So you're either low energy or high energy. The y-axis is pleasantness, okay? Not whether I feel good or bad, happy or sad, depressive or joyous. No, it is just pleasant. So it's like, does something feel approachable or not approachable? So I'm either high energy or low energy, and I either feel pleasant or sort of unpleasant as a general sense. So if you're high energy, high pleasant, you're in the yellow. That's joy, happiness, delight, kind of mild exuberance. If you are low energy, but still pleasant, like I feel like I can engage with the day, I'm just not overly hyped up or super energized, then you're green. So this is sort of contented or pleasant or, I don't know, generally available, but not super activated one way or the other. If you are low energy, low pleasant, then you're blue, which is sort of blue, a little bit ho-hum. I don't have a lot of energy and I don't really feel prompted to engage with things. I don't feel really enticed. And then high energy but low pleasant is red, which is anxious or angry. If you ask yourself, so let's remind our systems, yeah, good, God, well done, well done. So let's go back to that grounded moment. We just got grounded. And then at any time during any day, you can check in and see, am I yellow, green, red, or blue on this mood meter? And again, it doesn't mean good or bad. It literally just gives you awareness, self-awareness of where you are, and then to meet yourself there. You know, that whole concept of meet people where they are. Okay, well, whoever taught us to meet our own selves where we are? So here's a pro tip, right? Okay, so here's a little mood meter. And to know that these states, what color that you're going to be in, will change during the course of a day, a week, an hour, a month, right? And to work with yourself in those places. And to care with yourself. So, for instance, if you're feeling a little green, low energy, but pretty pleasant, but you're a high school soccer coach and you have to get your team really riled up to go get 'em, Tiger, um, you might want to see what you can do to sort of cultivate yourself into the red, like, let's go get 'em, like kind of do a haka dance and kind of stir yourself up a little bit, right? So there can be ways to mitigate where you are depending on what you have to do that day. Or if you have the capacity and ability and opportunity to simply take a meter reading of where you are and then suit to fit what you have to do that day to best be a match with where you are. Yeah. 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 Yeah, the self-awareness piece, right? To have your day, like if you have, a little bit of an option of what you could line up your day to do to best match what yourself. It's such an interesting exercise to actually wake up, take a mood reading, and then meet yourself there. We're so used to overriding, oh, well, I knew when I went to bed I had a big day, so I've got to be, you know, yellow. I've got to be high energy and high pleasantness. Yeah, okay, well, what if you aren't? Okay? That doesn't mean that you're not going to have a day. You're going to have your day. That's how they go. But like if you were a teacher or a coach or a caregiver for somebody, you would want to set them up. Most people would want to set their steward up for success. So you'd give them tasks that met their current state. Except we forget to do that for ourselves. Right. I know it seems redundant. I know it seems blisteringly obvious. And yet the reminder to do these things, for me, it never gets old. I am in the business of this. I do this for a living. I help my clients who come work with me do these things. And as for my Rebecca self, I almost perpetually need the reminder of this. It's a thing, y'all. Try a little tenderness with ourselves. I will I will absolutely share in this incredibly public forum that in my shadow work and in my personal journey lately, I have been deeply and incredibly in an awareness state of how much I diminish my own needs, desires, etc. I have really been walking in a deepening awareness of how, as a default, I put other people's anything as a higher priority than my own self. The meta layers and the nuances and the belief systems and cultural promptings that would make me do these things, that would bake these as default thoughts and behaviors are myriad. They are innumerable. And I have been in an active journey of kind of teasing out, excavating all the ways. It really made me think of all the people who are excavating their house out of mud and silt and debris. And that's just an analogy of what I've been doing on the personality level lately. And so whether you are mucking out your business or whether you are mucking out your belief basements, I'm right there with you, friend. I am right there with you. And it's not about shame, and it's not about remorse, and it's not about mea culpa, and it's not about not being smart. It's about patterns. It's about habits. It's about being intrinsically informed by the community that you're in. And that's unavoidable. It can't not happen. But when we do these excavations, when we do muck out and tease out and coax up and shine light on these soot gremlins in the corner, that's how we let the light in. That's how we let the brightness in. That's when we come into deeper relationship with ourself and can then care for ourselves more effectively from this place, from these understandings. It breeds understanding, and understanding is the birthplace of love. Understanding is the birthplace of connection with self and with others. And it's only when we connect that we can truly love something, ourself included. Oh, so precious, so precious. And it's not to scold the things that we find and to send them back into the corner. It's to bring them close. Give them a snack, give them a cup of tea, a glass of water, and give them a hug. Invite them, draw them nearer, and integrate them. Understand, oh, I did this. I did this because of this. I did this because I thought this felt better, but I see it was because I was afraid of this, or I didn't even consider this, right? That's what integration is. That's what integration is. Integration is not letting time pass until you revert to your old behaviors. Integration is really inviting that element to the table and spending time with it, setting a place for it, spending time with it, breaking bread with it, getting to know it like you would a new guest in your home, and then welcoming it deeply in. Yeah, because then you get to say where it lives. Otherwise, it's always the unknown enemy at the gate, right? But integration is about bringing something in and giving it its right position in your inner cosmology, in your inner home. Yeah, wow, wow, right on. Phew, wow. And then making different choices and then behaving differently. Whee! Right? That's the thing. Yeah, that gets a little, that gets a little some kind of way, doesn't it? That brought up a little anxiety. It's like, ooh, yeah, inviting somebody in, assigning it the room that you want them to inhabit. Okay, yeah, okay. Drawing, deepening understanding. Oh, okay. All of those things. But then all of a sudden, all right, and then we have to shift how we move out into the world. Then we shift what we say to people. Whoa, what we do. We shift how we hear the things around us, what is said to our faces, what is said around us. We shift our relationship with the collective noise, hooah, noise out there, y'all. Shua. There's a lot of noise. There's a couple of signals. There's little tidbits of information, and then there's a lot of noise. And this practice, this whole video, what we've done up until now, this really helps us discern what we need on the individual level through the collective noise. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah. Self-aware self-care. This is it. This is it. All right, to keep this brief, we really covered a lot today. This really felt good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Let me strike another 528. We're going to shine this up just a little bit. We're going to see if we can up the clarity on this tone. Definitely get it into the green, if not bordering on the yellow. Right there. Boom. If you're in the Atlanta area, I have a public event tomorrow at City of Light just by Spaghetti Junction. You can go to infiniteflow.one for tickets, or you can reach out on YouTube or RebeccaCarner.com. Yeah, thanks for joining me in this practice of being self-aware and then taking self-care. Yeah. Wow. It's been a joy. Thank you. Love you all. Take care. Be safe. Do the best you can. We're all in this together.